Hi, this is Carissa Caramanis O&rsquo at the National EMS Culture of Safety Strategy Conference in Arlington, Virginia, and I'm here with David Williams with the Institute for Healthcare Improvement. Welcome, David.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So you talked a little bit about sort of changing some of the strategies that go into creating a culture for safety. Can you tell us a little bit about what the Institute has done and what EMS can learn from that?
Sure. Well, the Institute for Healthcare Improvement is really focused on trying to teach people pragmatic methods for being able to improve patient safety and improve the quality of care and reduce cost and access. And so what I had been asked to do because of my EMS background was to bring some of that learning here and share the tools and concepts and thoughts that have been applied in healthcare to the emergency medical services arena.
And you talked a little earlier about the fact that the execution can be tricky. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. So we often find that there are three things that are involved in patient safety and leading improvement that can be challenges. And one is to have the will to actually make the change, to see that there's an opportunity there, to recognize that you have an opportunity to be able to influence it and to do it and get people behind that. A second is to have ideas of what to do. And often, our ideas are anchored in things either that we have exposure to or experience with, or that other people have done. And so sometimes just generating ideas is a challenge. But one of the biggest ones that I find is the execution side. And that's how do we go from having the desire to fix something, having some ideas of what might be opportunities for improvement in patient safety, and then actually going through the process of executing it, learning by doing small tests of change, testing in a small scale so that you can identify what works and what doesn't work, learn a great deal about the system and the process that you're trying to fix, and be able to do that in a methodical way that it changes your outcome and moves your dots on your run chart.
And is there a way to sort of simulate an environment where you can sort of take baby steps towards those changes?
Sure. When we talk about teaching the model for improvement, which is one of the key tools that we use to teach people how to do small tests of change, which is based on the Shewhart-Deming cycle, the Plan, Do, Study, Act cycle. And often when we're teaching people how to use it, we say, well, what's the small scale that you can test this on? So if you're trying, for example, to use SBAR, which is a communication tool to enable people to communicate more effectively in an organized fashion, you say, well, how can we test on the small scale? And what will usually happen is somebody will say, well, let's go try it on the next nurse out in the floor. We'll try it on the next paramedic on the ambulance. And we can actually simulate that earlier and say, well, why don't we just try it right here in the room? You guys have just learned about it. Why don't you try it with each other and just practice it? And you can already start to discover some of the things that go into doing a successful SBAR, preparing for it, thinking about it, modeling it. And so you can simulate it at a very basic level and don't have to jump right into the environment yet.
Very good. So how can folks learn more from the lessons that the Institute has? Is there some place that folks can go?
Sure. The Institute for Healthcare Improvement has a great website, ihi.org. And on that website, there's actually a ton of material about the tools and practices. It's a great place for sharing, but it also has a lot of improvement stories. So hospitals from around the country and around the world, as a matter of fact, will put up stories of work that they've done, projects that they've tried, methods that they've experimented with, and even sharing some of the data and information about their success stories. So it's a great place. And in addition, there's other things like podcasts or videocasts like we're doing today, where you can hear from people that have done work or activities that are being done. There are online learning presentations and things that are there. So there's a ton of content that I think is really valuable for anybody, whether they're in hospital or out of hospital.
Fantastic. Well, thank you again for being here and sharing your insights. We appreciate it.
Great. Thank you very much.
Again, this is Carissa Caramanis O&rsquo coming to you from the National EMS Culture of Safety Strategy Conference in Arlington, Virginia.